Hello language learners. In this video, we are going to talk on the two kinds of adjective, that is attributive and predicative. In our last video on adjective, we simply learned the function of the adjective in English language. So in this video, we will be learning its first two kinds, and they are attributive adjective and predicative adjective. Attributive adjective and the predicative adjectives are not different from each other in the sense of the meaning, but in the sense of their placement. When I say placement, I mean their places in the sentence. The word adjective, when is used with a noun, it may come before it or after it. So based on it, the adjective has been divided into these two kinds. So what is attributive adjective? The adjective which is used before the noun, it modifies. Have a look at the note. I have written that attributive adjective is never used with pronoun. This is the reason I have only used here the word noun, because this type of adjective is never used with the pronoun. Though the word adjective modifies noun and in some cases also pronoun, but attributive adjectives are never used to modify a pronoun. Let's have a look at some examples of attributive adjectives which are always used before the noun. They qualify. The sentence number 1 is, Afna was wearing a beautiful hat. In this sentence, the adjective is beautiful and it is qualifying the word hat, which is noun. And you can see the placement of adjective that it is used before the word hat. And that is the reason we call it is attributive. Number 2 is, what a lovely color. The green word in this sentence is attributive adjective. And after that, we have another word, that is color. Color in parts of speech is noun and it is being modified by the word lovely, and lovely comes before the word color. That's why we call it attributive adjective. Sentence number 3 is, Inaya is a kind girl. In this sentence, the noun is girl, which is modified by the word kind. The word kind here is adjective and it gives us extra information about the word which is noun, and that is girl. So that's why we call it attributive adjective, because it comes before the noun. That is also another point that need to be noted. It is that normally adjectives, means most of the adjectives, may be used before or after the noun or after the word that they qualify. But some adjectives in English are always used attributively, like the word former. Like I say, former teacher. I can't say the teacher is former, because this adjective normally in English is always used before the noun. So former here is a attributive adjective and it is qualifying the word teacher, and the word former is never used as predicatively. Number 2, mere accident. The word mere is also attributive adjective, and it is purely used in this sense. That means it is always used before the noun. So you can't say the accident was mere accident. It was a mere accident. Then the word chief is also used as an adjective, like chief guest. So you can't say the guest was chief. So chief, mere, former, and there are some other adjectives that are always used as attributive. In order to ascertain whether the adjective is attributive or predicative, please refer some best dictionary, because always best dictionaries tell us that whether the adjective are used before or after the noun. So it is always written in the parenthesis that the adjective is always used before the noun. So this is all about attributive adjective. Now let's talk about predicative adjective. When I say predicative, so you must recall the word predicate, which we discussed in the parts of the sentence in my previous videos. So predicative adjective is the adjective that is used after the word it qualifies. Then the point that needs to be noted, or the first point, pronouns are always modified by predicative adjective. Yes, as I already mentioned, that attributive is never used with the pronoun, but what kind of the pronouns or what kind of the adjectives that are used with the pronouns? They are predicative adjective. That means that pronoun is always modified by predicative adjective, not by an attributive adjective. Number two about the predicative adjective is that it functions as subject complement. What is complement? We have already discussed about that thing in our parts of the sentence and what is sentence in that particular video. If you are interested to know more about the word complement, please watch that video. Third number is usually it is used after linking verbs. In English, there is a kind of verbs, we call them linking verbs. Their function is to link the two parts of the sentence. Like be means to be verbs, seem, feel, test, and there is a long list of them. We will be talking about them on the special video on linking verbs. So usually the predicative adjective is used with the linking verbs to serve as their complement. Means predicative adjectives complete the meaning of the linking verbs. Let us understand this whole scenario through the examples. For example, the first sentence is, the question paper appears difficult. So here difficult qualifies the word question paper. Question paper is a noun and it is difficult, but instead of being used before the question paper, the adjective has been used after it. So that's why we call it predicative adjective, and here it qualifies the noun. Ishal is tall for her age. Here tall is used to qualify the word Ishal and it has been used after it. The lunch smells good. Here good qualifies the word lunch, but instead of being used before it, it has been used after it. So in all these three examples, the predicative adjective is qualifying the nouns. Which are the nouns? Ishal, lunch, and question paper. As I already mentioned, that predicative adjectives may also be used to qualify a pronoun. So let us also have a look at some examples of that too. It is hard. What is hard? It. The word it Here is the pronoun and it is being qualified by the word hard, which comes after it. So it is hard to understand his behavior. Number two, he became angry. So the word he is pronoun in parts of the speech, and the word angry qualifies he and has been used after it. So angry is predicative adjective. Number two, you seem upset. Here the word you is pronoun and the word upset tells us something more about the word you, which is pronoun, but instead of being used before it, it has been used after it. So that's why we call it predicative adjective. There is also another point that we must note. In English, there are some adjectives which are always used as predicative adjectives. They are never used as attributive adjective. So what are those? Like the word afraid, it is always used as a predicative adjective. You can't say an afraid person or afraid girl or afraid boy, because it is predicative adjective and must come after the word it qualifies. Alive, he is alive, or the boy is alive, or the man is alive, not the alive man, because alive is never used as attributive adjective. Well is also used always as a predicative adjective. Asleep is always used as predicative adjective. He is asleep, or asleep person is not possible. Aloof, he remains aloof, so you can't say aloof person. So some of the adjectives, they are never used as attributive adjective, they are always used as predicative adjective. So the summary of this all is that as far as the placement of adjective is concerned, it is divided into two parts: attributive adjective and predicative adjective. Attributive adjective always comes before the noun, it qualifies, and it is never used with the pronoun. And predicative adjective is the adjective that is used after the word it qualifies. Here I am using the word deliberately word, because word may be noun or pronoun, because pronouns may also be qualified by the predicative adjective. And some adjectives are always used as attributive and some adjectives are always used as predicative. I hope you learned something from my little effort. If you really learned something, please like and subscribe my channel. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. Until my next video, bye bye.